Hey, what's up, everybody? Ethereum is starting to wake up. This is exactly what we talked about last night in the video. I said if Ethereum can break out, which it looks like it's attempting to right now, like we're literally right there, guys. If Ethereum can break out, then it's going to set the tone, it's going to set the mood for the rest of the market. So, yeah, this is a really good thing. It's not confirmed yet. We still, we're working our way there. Um, so, I mean, we're technically getting above that line. Let's take a look at the 4-hour candle, and we're going to go over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it right on the close. I'm going to take another one, I'm going to put it right on top of the wick, and that's our little zone there. And you can see we are right there, guys. We are right there. Now let's zoom in a little bit to the smaller time frames. There we are. So there's the price. We're $5 away. Can we do it? So essentially what we want to do is on a 4-hour candle basis, we want to close above this line. So in about an hour, by the time you watch this video, it'd be probably less than an hour. Can we close above this line? That's the big deal. That's what I want to see happen. All right. And then with that, obviously getting above that as well. So, yeah, it's looking really good. Now, what else could this be here? Well, it could still technically be a flat. You know, you have A, B, and then you have sort of a C here, right? But I don't like it at all. I'd rather look at it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have like a 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we're getting 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's break out. And then, right, once we break out, we could always come back down and retest the breakout area later on. So yeah, Ethereum is looking really good. Thank God, because that was we really need Ethereum to get going. Look at the 30-minute chart. Look at that. We went up over $1,000 in the last several hours. So that's pretty good if you ask me. Now, I mean, are we going to get a pullback? You know, we could literally come all the way back down to this area if we really needed to, like a 1, 2, you know what I mean? And then continue higher, right? Something like this, boom, 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 right? So, I wouldn't necessarily FOMO into it. And honestly, Ethereum's not going to give us the big gains like the other coins will. I think it'll be better than Bitcoin, but, it is what it is. So essentially what we have for Ethereum, when we zoom out to the monthly here, is hopefully expansion, right? So we have our line there, boom. We have another line here, boom. And what we're looking for is essentially from here to here, right? So if I take a bars pattern, and you can see the last time, look what happened when we broke out. So we're technically right about there. And then I'll put that right there. And then I'll take this bars pattern and I'll put that right there. So that's kind of what we're looking for Ethereum here. Something like this. And yeah, so if that's the case from a time perspective, now it's very hard to know time, but you're looking at somewhere around October, November. And that lines up with other time aspects as well. Now, is it going to last that long? It could be very fast. It could, it could be this spring. It could finish up this February. I mean, it really depends how explosive, how the time is with this stuff, you know? So hopefully it happens sooner than later because we all know what the deep state's trying to do when Trump gets into office. They're going to try to kill the global economy when Trump gets into office so that they can never get another Republican. They basically want to destroy the Trump Republican Party so that they'll never have another Republican for president for the next 50 years. That's their goal. And the way they do that is by destroying what everyone cares most about, which is the economy. And the economy can be fixed using Trump's policies, but the economy is built on a financial system that is totally corrupt. We call it the central banking fiat currency enslavement system, where they print money out of thin air, they loan it to the government with interest attached. Then we, the taxpayer, have to pay it back plus interest. What sort of rigged deal is that? It's totally rigged. And Wall Street, the corporations, right? The central banks, basically they control everything. So what does this mean? This means that our economy can only do so well in this type of environment, where if we had sound money, for example, like a cryptocurrency, like, I'm not saying Bitcoin, XRP, or anything like that, but something that's involving the US Treasury, something that's decentralized. Remember, Donald Trump's getting into DeFi, so he's completing a World Liberty Financial with his sons, right? So they know DeFi is going to be a big thing, which is essentially taking the financial system and making it decentralized, right? Because you have all these big banks that control everything. And that's the problem with the United States. That's the problem with the world. It's not the border. Yeah, the border's a problem. The economy is a problem, right? The Russia, all the wars and all that. Yeah, whatever. It's literally, that stuff can be fixed easily, okay? The big problem is what it is built upon, which is the monetary system. So if I was you, I would go to Mike Maloney. If you guys like HBAR, I've talked about this before, go to Mike Maloney, go to YouTube, type in Mike Maloney Gold and Silver, and he has a series called, here it is right here, Hidden Secrets of Money, right there. Boom. There's 10 episodes. Watch that series. It's got, this was, let's see, when was this here? I believe this was all the way back. This is 11 years ago. Okay, and here's the HBAR episode right here. This was actually 6 years ago. I watched this when it came out 6 years ago, and I was stupid. I didn't buy it, but it wasn't even out then, right? HBAR didn't even come out yet. I don't think. It wasn't even there. So, but yeah, each episode, he goes back and he talks about how money is created. It's so interesting. It is really top-notch level stuff. Right? You're talking about the empires. I mean, he's predicted this 11 years ago, and all of this stuff we see happening today. So anyways, definitely check that out. So again, Trump's going to get in. They're going to try to kill the economy. They're going to say, see, look what Trump did. His taxes killed the economy. His policies killed the economy. His tariffs, that's what it's about. It's the tariffs. The tariffs destroyed the economy. See, we told you not to vote for Trump because he put the tariffs in and now the economy's destroyed. No! The economy has been destroyed, right? It's it's basically a bubble. And every time it starts to deflate, they pump it up. They deflate, pumps it up. But guess what? They got the pin and they're going to pop it, all right? So you say, well, why didn't they pop it when he was president last time? Because they weren't ready yet. They weren't expecting. They had to get things in line. They had to get, it takes a lot of planning and stuff, right? They didn't want to pop it during Joe Biden's era because, then it would look terrible on them. So just prepare. That's why I really, really, really hope that we can get this bull run started quickly, because we don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on this stuff. But you know what? Trump knows that they're going to do this. He is counting on them doing this. Why is he counting on them doing this? Because then he can move in and make his move. Remember, you don't give the people a solution if there's no problem, right? You know what the evil deep state does? You create the problem, then you offer the solution, right? 9/11. Remember that? So, at the end of the day, Trump wants them to do this. It's going to be painful, but we have to do it. We have no choice. We have a virus, right, inside of our bloodstream called debt, right? That's what it is. We're 30 trillion in debt. And Trump is a master at bankruptcy, right? People say, why would he be president? He went bankrupt. He's a dummy. Well, guess what? He actually has knowledge on how to handle bankruptcies, right? Our country is bankrupt. Trump's been battling the banks his whole life. He literally has Andrew Jackson hanging in the White House right next to him. He could have picked Abraham Lincoln. He could have picked George Washington. He could have picked anybody. He picked Andrew Jackson. Why? He was the first Democrat president. Why would he pick him? Because he was the banker worst enemy, right? That's what it's about. Everything we hear is all noise. At the end of the day, it's all about money all of the time. It's about power, money, central banks run the show, right? And politics, it's always left versus right. Joe versus Trump. Kamala, blah, blah, blah. No. This is the distraction. That's the political distraction. The real puppet masters are the families, right? They say, oh, Elon, he's the richest guy on earth. No, he's not. The families are. There are certain families in this world that are way richer than him by a magnitude of a lot. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't even want to say the name because then, you're going to get a little message from YouTube. But, that's just the way it is, And so they're going to try to pull the trigger. And then Trump's going to counter. And he's going to come out and he's going to say, look what they did. Look what they did. So, look what happened. Look what the Fed did, right? Because it's all about the Federal Reserve. It's Trump versus the Fed. I've been saying Trump versus the Fed since 2018 on Facebook. I had all my Facebook posts. They killed my Facebook. They took my X account down like twice. So, I was up to 6,000-7,000 followers and they destroyed my X account. And on my Facebook, I had way more friends and stuff like that. And now I have no Facebook, but I can't even create a Facebook. They just delete my account. I don't even know why, because ever the last year, I haven't even been talking about that kind of stuff, so, it's one of those things. So Trump, again, he's counting on them to do this. So why is he counting on them to do it? Because then he can offer the solution. What is the solution? Crypto, DeFi, gold, Bitcoin, oil, trade, tariffs, right? All that stuff is going to be used. The American power, right? That's going to be used to counter what they tried to do. Because Trump needed the people. When the economy goes down, when the bonds pop, when the stocks pop, it's going to be like a C-19 style event. It could be fast and furious, but I think it could rebound quickly. They're going to say, oh, it's a recession, but it's all a scare event. It's all going to be orchestrated, right? And then they're going to blame Trump. But then what is Trump going to do? He's going to blame the Fed. He's going to blame whoever, obviously, for political reasons, he'll probably blame the Democrats. But mostly it'll be the central banks. And that's when he's going to, because and who's going to believe him? Because he has the will of the American people. He has a mandate. He won the popular vote. He won the all the swing states, right? So he won it all. So he has the will of the people, which means what? If we had a massive economic tragedy. And Trump came out, because we don't believe in the fake news anymore. The fake news is going to have a narrative. They're all going to be repeating the same thing, right? But people know the truth, just like what happened in 2008, the financial crisis. We were on the verge of losing everything. So what do? We kick the can down the road. So what is Trump going to do? Is he going to print more money, kick the can down the road, or is he going to handle it while he's in office? I think he's going to handle it. And how is he going to handle it? By transitioning us from the Federal Reserve, deep state, central banking, corrupt system into a new decentralized. We're still going to have banks. We're still going to have the Fed, but it's going to be reconstructed in a way where it makes sense for everybody, right? And that is called what? Sound money. Sound money is basically you have a gold coin and you have a fake gold coin. And when you tap the gold coin on the register, it makes a certain sound. When you tap the fake gold coin on the register, it makes a thump. So it doesn't make the certain sound. That's why they call it sound money, right? So gold shall destroy the Fed, right? That's the motto. So we're going to see some big fireworks. So why am I saying all this? What does this have to do with crypto? What does this have to do with the price? Because it has everything to do with crypto. It has everything to do with the price, and it has everything to do with what's about to happen. Now, we don't know if it's going to happen as soon as he takes office. We don't know if this is going to happen next year. We don't even know if it's going to happen, 3 months before he leaves office. We don't know how they're going to try to play this. If I'm the deep state and I wanted to destroy Trump and make sure he never got into office again, I would actually wait 3 years and then do it. But I don't even know if we have 3 years. I don't know if they can hold off 3 years because the system is so bad, right? You look at the labor market, you look at unemployment. All of those are statistical numbers. They're all fake numbers. The real numbers are much, much worse, right? If you look at retail sales, they're dying. If you look at like stores like Macy's and stores like, all these stores they don't have the power they used to. It's all online. Well, even online sales aren't as good as they used to, right? I mean, Amazon took over a lot of it, right? But it's still, even with Amazon, it doesn't equate to what it used to be, right? And why is that? Inflation. Inflation means people can't buy the same stuff that they used to, right? So a lot of people's Christmases are not going to be as nice as they were once before because of how bad. That's why I've been talking about crypto. That's why I think crypto is going to be able to give my family a good Christmas, and I believe it will give your family a good Christmas as well. Don't forget to take just because we didn't go on a full-fledged bull run doesn't mean you can't take a little bit of profit, right? And, giving is the best thing we can do, especially if we do come into a newfound, sort of situation where we come into wealth, it's important to spread it around. It's important to grow it, right? Not to just blow it on Lambos and crap and bull crap that doesn't even matter, right? People think, I'm going to buy a Lambo and drive down the street. That way all the women can look at me. Look how cool I am. I'm in a Lamborghini. Right? Trust me, people don't care. People don't care at all. And the women who do care are just gold diggers. So it's not going to make you happy. Trust me. And I don't even know because I don't even have a Lambo. I got a Honda Civic and I'm happy because it gets me from point A to point B. I'm cool with that. Would I like a nicer car? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's not the things that make us happy. It's what we can do with the vehicle that we're in that we can change, people's lives by just giving them a helping hand whenever they need, right? So family, friends come first, right? But then also the best thing people can do with their money, not financial advice, but is to take your money and create something where it helps people, right? And makes money at the same time. You know what I mean? So, because most people, they think, I have $3 million, I'm retired. No, you have $3 million that means you only basically have 100 grand a year, right? Because if you have $3 million, how are you going to live off that? Eventually it's going to go to zero. So you have to have a plan. What's the plan? Well, you gotta basically put it to work so that you can earn interest off that 3 million. And you're only going to earn about 120,000 a year, which is a lot of money. I mean, I don't make 120,000. I don't even make 100. I don't make anywhere near that at all. Like, so, and I'm in California, right? And it's expensive, but that would be great making 100,000 a year. But you're going to live a pretty simple life, and that's exactly what I think most people want, right? Most people don't need these extravagant lifestyles. So helping people is much more my priority. I would like to own a shelter, like a dog shelter. I'd like to, do a lot of things to make people's situations better. And because for me, it's all about pay it forward. You ever watch that movie, Pay It Forward? It's that kid that was in the Sixth Sense movie with Bruce Willis. Actually pretty good. But anyway, all right, let's stop ranting on here. Let's get to the price. Let's talk about the price. By the way, I bought a new toy. And I can't wait to use it. I'll talk more about that later. But we see basically Ethereum getting closer and closer to breaking this 47K area, right? So what are the ideas here? Well, idea number one, obviously, this is a 1-2-1-2, and this is another 1-2, and we're about to rip into a 3, 4, and 5. Simple. By the way, this is the monthly chart. Let me tone it down a little bit to the 4-week chart, or for the 4-day chart. So another idea here is that obviously the same idea where we built our accumulation. We're starting to impulse to the upside. We're going to flag out maybe a little bit, maybe get a little bit of resistance in here, and then break out. Same thing. Same idea. The other idea is that we have 3 down, right? See, I don't like this idea because we have accumulation and we have an impulse. Those two things tell me that we're going to break out. But nothing's ever for sure. If we do get 3 down, right? And this, let's say this is 3, it's a flat, then we can always get 3 back down, come back here, retest that breakout area, and then continue. So WXY. So impulse, 3-way pullback, continue on. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're ready to break out very soon, guys. So now it could still be a inverse head and shoulders, but if you notice, we're already kind of starting to break out here. So my theory is, if we do have an inverse head and shoulders, then we're not going to close above that. We shouldn't close above that. So we have a shoulder, we have a head, and then we would probably pull back and create another shoulder somewhere around that 33.78 area. If we did have that shoulder, right, we want to stay above this area, that basically that $3,400 area. So anyway, that's Ethereum. Let's check out Mr. Bitcoin today. Bitcoin is new all-time high today. We're at $106,000. Think about that for a second. I mean, it doesn't even feel real. It just feels like, yeah, Bitcoin should be there. It should have been there 3 years ago. It's finally time. So let's zoom in here to the 2-hour chart. Our fractal looks like it has been playing out. Now we're still not out of the woods yet, right? We're still not out of the woods yet, meaning it could still technically be a flat. Why do I say that? Well, because look, if this is 3 up, yeah, see, it wouldn't make sense. So if this is 1, 2, 3 down, that's better. Yeah. Okay, so we have boom, boom, boom. That's 3. And then we have 3 up. 1, 2, 3. we could always get 3 back down. 1, 2, 3, and then go up. Or it could even be 5 and then go up, right? Coming back down to these lows here, right? We slammed down, we came up, we could always come back, revisit that, and then continue. Somewhere around, that mid 90K area. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we can just get on with it. So yesterday we talked about the inverse head and shoulders. We talked about getting the price target here. Look at that. And look at this. Let's see. Did we hit the target? We're still not quite there yet. Let's see if I do a little bit more of a conservative approach. Roughly. Almost. Yeah, almost hit the target. So I would imagine probably a little bit more higher. Yeah, so, we have this impulse. You got a 3-way pullback. You got another 1, 2, kind of pumping here. Got a little bit of a retest here. If you notice this high, if I move this up here, right? So here's your top. That's your all-time high right there. And then we come out, we break above the all-time high, we back test it, and then we confirm it by continuing higher. So whatever it's going to do, play around a little bit, but hopefully, we get more momentum and we continue higher. Yeah, because this structure does look kind of similar to me. Like back over here, we can see kind of something similar here. Maybe if I take a bars pattern, and we can kind of overlay it, but you can see, there we go. Look at that. That's a pretty decent fractal. Look at that. So if we plug it in, it kind of fits. Whoa, look at that. I haven't even looked at this fractal really. This is a beautiful fractal. Look at that. Wow. I know we've looked at a fractal, but I didn't look at it on the 2-hour chart because it looks really, whoa. And then we also have this part to it too. Watch, if we go back over here, look at this. Yeah, we did look at this fractal, but I didn't look at it on this time frame because I could see much more detail in it. Look at that. Let me take the whole thing now and do this. There we go, right there. And then, so if you look on the 4-day chart, you can see where it's at. So you compare this to this. See that little knuckle there? Right? So you got your wave 2, you break out, and you got that little bottle area. You got your wave 4, you break out. You also got that little bottle area. Look at that. Freaking perfect. And then let's take this and we're going to plug it in. We're going to go back down to the 2-hour chart. And we're going to look at it very closely here. So there you go. That's the fractal. I mean, you can kind of see, we get our pump, we chop, 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 come and swoop. Same thing, pump, chop, 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 pump and swoop. And then we get a little bit of a 3-wave move here, a little bit of a 3-wave move. We had a big dump, we had a big dump. We had a little bit of a hump, a little bit of a hump. We had a 1, 2, we had a 1, 2. We're taking off, we're taking off. Let's see if that's the case. I mean, it looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get a nice screenshot here of this. I want to make it as clean as I can. There we go. Look at that. Wow. I love it. I think that's great. Now, this is not financial advice. This doesn't mean it's going to keep following. This is just increasing the probabilities of our confluence. You know what I mean? So, if this is the case, we should see somewhere around 120K. I think that's maybe a good spot where we could top off. I don't know. If we go back further and we look at what happened after this, we had a massive expanded flat in here that took forever. I mean, this thing went from December. Well, actually, never mind. Not too long. It was took December, early December, all the way till the end of January. So basically, it took 2 months, right? So then what I can do here is take another pattern and just go up like that. And then we'll go up to the higher time frame and we'll scoot this over here just like that, kind of plug it in a little bit. You know, I don't know if this is what this is. Obviously it's going to break at some point, but you can see we got up to, you know, 173k or somewhere around there. So is that what's going to play out? I mean, I could see that happening. The reason why is because, you know, we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 1 2, and then we have another 1 2 of the third, right? And then all of this is the third. Right now we're in the fourth of the third, and then once we're done with the third, we're going to get a big correction, you know, maybe an expanded flat, and then we go up and there'll be 1 2 3 4, and then we get 5, and then we sort of distribute in here. And look at the time frame. It actually lines up perfectly because the time is like around March, April, and that's usually the reason why is because when we get summer, you know, is usually the bearish time for crypto, right? So yeah, this thing could go on till you know, somewhere around March, April, which would make sense to me. Now there is an alternative where we can get up somewhere, like for example, if this thing did get up here around March, April, and then we just consolidated all the way. Let me go to the weekly chart. You know, here's July. So basically, you know, we get up here, we consolidate through the summer, and then once we hit October, November, we get one more pop, and then that's it. So something like that. So but yeah, it looks great. Let's see, the sequential looks fine. Go back to the 4 hour for a minute. Yeah, it looks great. So I'm gonna get to the small. We're gonna look at XRP. We're gonna look at Theta. Sit tight. I'm just trying to get a good screenshot here. Okay. So now let's get rid of the fractal and let's zoom in to like the 30-minute chart. You can see we're kind of dumping here a little bit. We had a big pump, and now we're coming back down. The point is, what we want to see here: higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? We want to trend up. That's what we want. If we start taking these lows out, then obviously, you know, we probably need a bigger correction. It would most likely be, you know, some type of flat and then go up. You know, so it's really two ideas. We're going to come take the low here and then go up, or we're going to, you know, maybe chill out a little bit and then go up. But either way, I think, you know, the fractal is pretty bullish. So, okay, let's look at dog. Ooh, dog. Come on, dog. What's up, dog? So, yeah, it looks like, you know, the inverse head and shoulders kind of failed. You know, here's your resistance, right? You're hitting it. You're cupping into it, you're cupping into it, you're cupping into it, and you just want to break it. You can't break it, you can't break it. So it looks like we're getting some type of ascending triangle here. You see that? So we're probably going to come back down here and then maybe continue higher. So, yeah, I think this thing's still going to break out. We got a 3-wave move, right? So we have an impulse, and then we have a 3-wave move to the downside. Let's take a little bit closer look on that. So we have 3 down, got like 3 up, and then maybe 3 back down. So we really don't want it to go any lower, because if we look at the retracement here, and I was long dog, we crushed the 1-to-1, so yeah, I might have to cut it if we don't reverse here. My stop loss was actually here, but it didn't trigger it. And that's something that I hate about some of these lower liquidity. You know, you hit the stop loss and it doesn't even trigger. Like, it doesn't take you out of the trade, unfortunately. So I'm a little bit underwater here, but I'm not going to panic. Either I cut it, take the loss, or I wait until we get at least back up here and see if we can get through that. You know, because you want to see a little bit of a retracement coming soon. But yeah, you know, it looks a little bearish. I mean, you got kind of like an invert. You got a little bit of a head and shoulders, and we're still dumping. So, but we do have support down here. So I'd like to see it hold that support somewhere around there. So when you look at it from a zoomed out perspective, you know, the bearish perspective, you could say it's finished. You know what I mean? Like, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get A, B, and now we're coming down for C. And we can come all the way down here, right? And then like retest some of these areas and then continue higher. There is actually a trend line right here. So that trend line is pretty far away. So somewhere around this area would be the point where we would want to see a reaction. But other than that, it's kind of like a wait and see type of situation. Let's check out on BOEM here. So BOEM looks a little better right now. Looks like you know, you got this big one and then you're kind of flat. You know, you're just kind of hanging down here. A lot of times that's going to give you a three-way move up. And then the problem then becomes, okay, well, now you got three. What happens here? Right? So it's kind of a wait and see situation. Let's look at XRP. All right, XRP actually came up. It took the top, but then it got, you know, it got quickly rejected here. On a 4-hour chart, we got 30 minutes left. You know, traditional XRP is coming back, meaning its old characteristics where it has a lot of fake outs. Look at that. So we really need to close above 250 on a 4-hour scale, right? We're sort of in this range right here, right? We're consolidating. We get up here, we're ranging. That's what XRP likes to do. It likes to go sideways, right? And then eventually, we need to get a breakout here coming soon. So let's take a look at the smaller time frames. We can see, yeah, we had, you know, I'd like to see like a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to see it come up and hit the high here, and then consolidate on that high, and then eventually move up. I mean, that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Other than that, we're just simply ranging. Nothing. We want to stay above 243 and 236. We want to stay above these areas, right? So if you look at it like that, we actually broke the range here, basically, right? So we come down, we're ranging, right? That, you know what? It actually looks like a little Wyckoff range. Look at that. Perfect little Wyckoff range. Boom, 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 boom. You come here, you get your liquidity grab right there. You shoot up, you come all the way down, you back test, right? And then we need to hold this back test area and then hopefully continue higher. So actually looks like a little bit of a DCA spot for me, you know, because ultimately XRP, you know, looks like we need, you know, we have an impulse, we have a three-way pullback, we have another impulse, we're ranging. So it's either we're gonna get the high and we're gonna get 3 down, or we're going to hit the high and we're going to keep going, right? If we just start to come down now, then it looks like a WXYXZ and then continue going. So it's all going to be about what happens in this range and then how it reacts in the retracement levels. If we just roll over, then it narrows it down to basically one count, two counts, either 1212 or a WXYXZ, more than likely a WXYXZ. CRV. CRV looks like a running flat right now. Impulse, ABC. There's your three-wave move. Could it go lower? Yes, it can. But that's where we want to reverse. I just don't like this bottlenecking. You drop in, you're just kind of doing this stuff. Because sometimes you kind of hit the low and then you work your way out of there. So let's look at theta. Theta is doing essentially the same thing like XRP is doing. It's simply moving sideways here. The longer we get rejected, the more likely we're not going to get through it, right? XRP actually broke its range. Theta hasn't yet completely. It's kind of looks like you have a shoulder, you have a head, and then you have another shoulder here. So maybe if we can flag out a little bit and then break out, then we can activate that inverse head and shoulders. Because I still want to see a bigger retracement here. We really don't have that. We haven't even gotten to the 618 yet. So I want to see it get at least up to $3 before then thinking it could be a more complex structure, right? Because you have an impulse, you have a three-wave move down. We could get a three-wave move up. That's probably what's going to happen. And then from there, that's where it's really difficult. What happens here? Because from there, we can either get 3 back down and then continue, and it'd be a big WXY, or we could simply just flag out in here and then continue. So what if it's neither of those? What if we just start rolling over now? Well, then it's going to be a zigzag. 3 down, 3 up, 5 down. Basically an ABC and then continue. So we need to narrow down our possibilities. And the best way we can do that is by breaking this range one way or another. And that's what we're waiting for. Axelar. Axelar looks okay. You kind of had a little bit of a diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe get A, B, C, and then continue. That's kind of how I would think about it. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same here. I want to see it break out. Litecoin, same thing. You're in that range. Same thing for Flow. SHIB, you're in this little, you're getting kind of wedged in here. So for SHIB, looks like we did have a WXYXZ. So we kind of want to break out of this. We want to get that. We want to get this moving here. So it's all going to be about breaking this downward resistance line. Right? That's what we need to do for theta. That's what we need to do for everything. Not helpful. Same thing with Jasmine. You're in a link. You're in a range. Link. You're in a range 2. Ave, little bit different. Could be 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right at the all-time high. This thing could get ready to pop soon. Or you're going to get 3 down, and this whole thing is 1, 2, 3 up, and then you get 3 back down. It's all going to be about what happens right in there. Not really interesting. XLM. Same thing with XLM. It's even more shallow. You know, you're kind of just stuck in this range here. I mean, it's pretty much everything is the same. Same. Well, a little bit, yeah, a little bit different. It had a bigger retrace, right? And now you're flagging out here. Actually looks pretty good, AVAX does. So if we could break above this, you know, that's what we're waiting for all the coins, is basically breaking above their flags. Some of them are flagging horizontal, some of them are flagging down. Same thing with ICP, same thing with Filecoin, same thing with Doge. I mean, it's all the same. So there's no sense of me looking at everything. I mean, it's basically everything's the same. They're all just kind of waiting on Ethereum. Like I said, you know, we need Ethereum to go. You know, that's... Watch. Once Ethereum breaks it, I think things are going to look a lot better. So we'll look at Ethereum one last time. Here, where's it at? Right there. And Ethereum did break, but it needs to like go. It needs to expand. It needs to get the hell out of there. Right? Because as far as I'm concerned, we haven't broken it yet. We're still kind of stuck right in there. And we did have a big pump, guys. Right? Look at that. We had a pretty big pump. We went from 3,885 around there all the way up to, you know, it's about a 5%, 5.5% move, right? In about 5 hours, you know, so not so bad with a big market cap like Ethereum. So 1 2 1 2 1 2, you know, it's looking pretty good here. So I want to see it kind of flag out a little bit and then continue breaking higher. Worst case scenario, we have a 618 retrace. 618 retraces all the way down 37.90, right around here. So we could have like something like this and then something like that. XRP kind of got a little double bottom here. Let's see if it holds it. Velo. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got out of Velo because that was a big dump right there. Yeah, see, that looks like a flat to me, totally. You know, kind of look like. So here's the thing. This is basically what all the other coins are doing. Look at this. So this could give us an indication of what is to come. For example, this is probably the most important part of the video, by the way. So look at this. All right, we'll do it with XRP. We'll go down to the 2-hour chart. Look at that. So there's your thing right there. And then here's Velo. Look at the difference. You got to pull back. You got to pull back. You come up. You come up. And here's the key right here. You range in here. Same thing with Theta. Same thing with everything else. You range in here. And then what do? You break out. Get everybody excited. Yay, XRP is going to break out. It's going to go high, high, high. And then what happens? It comes all the way back down and gets slammed right back down to the low. Comes all the way back down. Comes right, slams down to the low. Why did it do that? Why did Velo do that? Because it's a flat, and flats are designed to destroy you. So what this means is Velo is a smaller market cap. It could be a leading indicator. The best leading indicators are other cryptos, right? It could be a leading indicator telling us what the next move is. For example, I'm not saying this has to happen. Just because Velo did it doesn't mean all the others have to as well. But it could be leading, right? So what now? Well, if we had this move down and then we had 3 up, we could get this move back down like this and then go. And then what we have is A, B, C. A, B, C. That's your flat right there. So that's your 3-wave move. So you have your impulse and then you have a 3-wave pullback. And then you go. But now you have to suffer through all that. And meanwhile, Bitcoin's just chilling at the all-time high. And Bitcoin's like, hey, what are you guys doing down there? Come up. The weather's fine. You know, Bitcoin's sitting on Mount Everest. And the cryptos are taking a nap on the beach. 0 elevation. All right, that'll do it for this video. Not financial advice. You guys know that. But again, with all the altcoins, like look at DOT. We're just waiting for that thing to break. It could break today, it could break tomorrow, it could take a couple days, but I think we will break out. And then once we get up here, then it becomes even more challenging. What then? You know what I mean? So, all right. I will catch you guys on the next one. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.